So Matt Cooke back in the house, and as Liam mentioned, finished his last match pretty well. Just ran out of time after having that break and run to really make an influence on that match with Greg Batten. Kris Hampson maintaining that softly cut break, but this is the first time it's really properly let him down. Decent chance here for Matt Cooke.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, but it's not an easy out. He's got a little bit of traffic with either colour set, which one he goes. So it depends how he's feeling. So he's electing for reds, and if the 8-ball goes into the bottom right hand pocket without the need to be developed, then it's a finish that Matt will fancy to get. So he's under it, that one, by quite a way. Needs a bit of luck on this, so he's going to try and clip the red down the rail at pace, and the cue ball will go crashing into the yellow and the 8-ball.
Never ever going to drop at that angle.
No, but the second prize is he's not left Kris an easy starter, but if he's on his bad ball early, then this shot is essentially the frame.
Yeah, cash ball straight away for Kris Hampson. Oh, he just caught the rail, and Matt Cooke gets away with one. It's a decent chance that for Kris. Just goes to show, though, that he's still feeling good just by taking that one on. It shows that he's thinking right out there. Confidence is still high.
That cue ball went close, and the good thing for Matt here is he can effectively use the yellow if he wants to just make sure he gets the pot. I think the 8-ball does go into the left centre, so the position for it will be easier for Matt. Off his last red, which is over the pocket, so he's just going to take the 2 at the top end of the table.
Yeah, landing almost flat to the rail is, just causing that little grimace that you see there, because these yellows are almost acting like a barbed wire fence for access to that red, aren't they?
Yeah, and he's just got to make sure he just rolls this in, leave the cue ball where it is, and land in that gap, which I think he's just on. And
only just.
May have to sort of swerve this slightly. But the way the position of the red is, the cue ball will naturally track up for position on the 8-ball.
Yeah, he's having to turn it. Oh.
That's huge.
And it all comes from landing that cue ball on the rail, because if he's in open table there on that previous shot, he can then pick where he wants to be off, a variety of different methods. All of a sudden he felt like he had to just die in. And by overhitting it by what, 1%, it's just made it missable.
Sorry, but that was not the shot. What, he's got ball in hand. Just put the cue ball on the rail and play it naturally down the rail, and you've got the ball into the middle. Leaving an angle to play a cannon when you don't need to. This is the problem it causes. He's got to swerve this to even pop this yellow.
Oh wow. That's a huge error for Kris Hampson.
And I'm sorry, but he deserves to lose the frame for playing that shot beforehand. So Matt taking a 1-0 lead.
Well, that could be a massive moment in Kris Hampson's night, because if he doesn't go on to win this match as he needs to, and you know he sticks around to see the result of our final match tonight, and Greg Batten gets the win. It's a 6 red shootout he should have been a part of, and you can see there just almost if he can't quite believe what he's done.
Yeah, I don't understand it myself. Why you've got ball in hand, you can put the cue ball anywhere on the table. You can place it on the rail, just play the yellow down the rail, and you're naturally on the one to the right middle. You're always taught as a pool player coming up through the ranks, only play cannons if you need to. Like if you can manoeuvre the cue ball and just connect the finish up, less can go wrong.
Yeah, and that yellow is, you know, it was a tough ball. It's in the middle of the rail, so you know you can see the merits to developing it. But yeah, cue ball in hand, and all of a sudden, if it's flat on rail cue ball, flat on rail yellow, it's not a difficult shot, is it?
No, and you can make sure you get the right angle and so on. But Kris is going out again, straight into the pack.
Yeah, Matt was a little bit unlucky on that break, but he had sort of second prize in the sense that he left a pretty horrible split. It's the second time, by the way, if you're counting, that Matt Cooke has gone in off a top corner pocket off a cut break.
This is a big shot. Kris is playing this at pace. Play the plant, bring the red out.
He's unlucky. Yeah, big shot. It needed big execution. It was tough.
They've all got a pocket, the yellows. It's just sort of finding that route. So play this one down the rail and drift over to the left hand side for the yellow into the right centre after this shot.
Yeah, I get the sense if Matt at any point in this visit can land almost directly underneath the 8 ball, that's his like golden area, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think what he needs to do here is after this shot, he needs to take the 2. He's come a bit short, but he needed to land to take the 2 which are over the middle pocket now. Take the yellow to the bottom right, and then the next 2 connect up with very little travelling on the cue ball. So if he can, he wants to try and just pinch this pocket slightly to be on the yellow again by the middle.
Yeah, that's okay. He's fine here, yeah, you can see the route. It's left centre next, and then bottom right, bottom left, left centre. This is dot to dot now.
And it's
tic-tac-toe, as the Americans call it.
Yeah, and similar to like the last frame, what the difference here is, Matt's got about this finish, no cannons, just even though the custard has just picked them off one by one. Whereas some of the players go into a pack and a cluster and look for a nudge. And this isn't what Kris would have wanted. He needs the win.
This is the worst possible start, really. Not just 2-0 behind, but 2-0 behind when, I mean, you've had one realistically at this level unmissable finish, and a second one where you've had a chance. To be 2-0 down in a must-win match is going to be tough to take for Kris Hampson.
And you can see a little spring in Matt's step as well, the way he's going about the table.
That's a really confident finish from Matt, yeah, agreed.
And obviously he'll know he's out of the night, but if he can finish strongly, it's something to take into the next event, which is in May.
Yeah, it just soon rolled around, hasn't it? We've got 2 events coming up in May. Players' Championship. Spots and Stripes on Red Hill, looking forward to that one. And then the second tour event. Live from Bolton Wanderers Stadium in the middle of May.
It's a great break there from Kris. He put a little bit more pace on that. I'd be looking at yellows myself personally.
Looks like Kris also thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah, but again, he's just slightly lost the cue ball. On the first shot, because really he wants to play this one down the rail and bring the cue ball out, but having to bring the cue ball out makes the pot harder. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one rattled.
Extension.
I think that's why he's potentially contemplating a reroute.
What he's closest to, just slide by the one closest to the pocket. Oh, that wasn't a particularly kind flick. He avoided that red. He was on a lovely line there.
Yeah, and they wanted the yellow. I'm not sure what this is.
That was never on. Looked, I think, for a thin cut, which would have been a bit of a miracle shot for Kris Hampson, honestly.
Yeah, and there's no finish on for Matt, so straight away he's got the ball in hand. He's played a nice safety shot, develop the red, snooker him on the yellows, and take control of the frame. And Kris needs something to happen, so he hasn't got too much time to think. You can almost have an argument for sort of hitting this at pace and hope for the best.
Oh, that's tough.
And that's not the best.
Yeah, long way from it.
So yeah, the red obviously does pass to the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, that helps massively. Reds are all there. Reds are all there.
And I think Cole and Greg will be both pleased with this result because they don't want to be going in there 6 red with 3 players. So if they can keep it in their own hands, and if Greg can force a 6 red with just in between him and Cole, Greg knows he needs the win. And if Greg is able to get the win against Cole, the momentum that win can take as well probably puts Greg favourite.
Oh, cue ball. Oh. That's the second time he's done that tonight. Oh, Cookie.
That just gives Kris a little bit of a lifeline. I'm not sure if he's jawed on the red, so he may have to swerve this slightly. But if he could land on the double, if he wants to just make sure of the pot and leave a double on the red.
I think you have to. Oh yeah, go your own way. That's not bad.
Just flicks go, it's nice.
Yeah, you'll take that really.
So, and the good thing is that where the cue ball will finish, if you can just roll the red in, it naturally lands in between the gap of the yellows.
Yeah. You're a long way off.
There we go. It's a big chance for Kris to keep himself in the night.
Yeah, and this match isn't over. You know, at one point in this frame, you almost feared for Kris Hampson that it was all going to sort of fizzle out from him after a great start. But 2-1, you know, what would we be looking at? 5 minutes left?
Yeah.
That's loads and loads of time to go and win this match.
Yeah, but Kris needs the win, and I'm just not sure why he's taking so long to play that shot. Again, like, he can't afford to sort of lose too much time, because if any of the other 2 frames go scrappy,
He's taking an insurance option here. Didn't fancy the yellow to middle. That would have been the natural ball, but just tree-topped over that red. Just thought it was awkward. And you can respect that really. Just a bit of a reroute. Oh, Kris.
as long as the yellow went to the, I mean, if this is half a pocket, sometimes there's twice tonight. You've just got to back your own ability at times.
This is missable. Yeah, that was very missable. Has he had a touch? Has he had a touch? Wow. Wow.
That's huge.
I mean, if Kris Hampson ends up in a 6-red shootout tonight, he's got that shot to thank.
And this is 3 rails, clip the red in.
Oh, great effort.
But look at the cue ball. What a safety shot. And if you're Kris, do you play the dead weight snooker on the red, or do you go for a double on the yellow?
I think we know the answer, don't we? Oh, he's not got the dead weight snooker.
No, and what this is doing, it's just eating more and more time out of the match. So you're just going to see Matt just clip off the red and send the cue ball down to the bottom of the table.
Oh, that's not the best shot from Matt, though. But he's put his red almost sort of safe, really.
I think Kris may have a free go at the double.
Exactly. That's how he'll see it. Rattles it, and where the cue balls end up, he's actually going to lead the pot on. Playing the cue ball there was almost as important as playing the yellow, really, for Kris.
Yeah.
Needed to be that free go. It's going to roll in the red, and this frame is going to be over. And Kris Hampson will be so disappointed with this match. He's played some really, really good stuff tonight. But in all 3 frames, he will feel like he should have won them in this game. It could, and he will feel should, be 3-0 the other way.
Yeah, I think it's purely been down to poor shot selections on a couple of shots. With that frame, we had the clip into the red, into the middle, into the corner, and the cue ball went into the middle. Even the shot there where he was hampered over the red, but he had a straight shot to the middle. A confident Kris will take that shot on, and I think with a couple of mistakes, he's just tried to play it too safe.
So 3.5 minutes remaining in this match. Kris Hampson needs 4 frames in that time if he is to stay in the Ultimate Pool Champions League for 2025. On the brink of elimination, Matt Cooke on the break. If you need a quick finish, Kris Hampson might be your man here.
Yeah, but I don't fancy the layout.
Well, a lot depends on that red closest to the bottom left corner of the table. Because the rest, I think, are all there, just about.
The draw is not good enough for Kris, so...
Yeah, he needs to really buzz here, and this is where it comes into a little bit of what you said earlier about that finish, where it felt like he took his time on a very available finish. Excellent double, excellent shot. Hasn't really been rewarded all that much.
Another double.
And this time it jaws. This time it jaws, and Kris Hampson knows now the writing is on the wall. Good result for Greg Batten and 𝗏𝗏𝗃 this, who are prepared to do battle in our final match of the night. Remember, 𝗏𝗏𝗃, win or draw, goes through. Greg Batten wins, and we're going to a 6-red shootout. Kris Hampson could have been in it if he'd have won this match, but right now he is on the cusp of losing it 4-zip.
Matt will be chuffed to at least be driving home with a 4-0 victory the way the night started. I don't think it was getting his first frame on the board until frame 7, I think.
Yeah, he's recovered really well to his credit. We mentioned earlier that comparison of a few weeks ago and Andy Williams, who was in a similar sort of scenario, and just so difficult for him to get going, and you just couldn't help but feel for him out there. It looked like Matt was on a similar track, but full credit to him, he's really wrestled it back. And in the end, played some really good stuff. If he played like this in match 1, it could be talking about an entirely different story.
Thin cut on the 8 ball for the victory.
And in it goes. Matt Cooke, 4-0 win to end his night. And indeed, Kris Hampson's. He can no longer qualify through tonight. can Kris. Matt Cooke ends on a high and sets us up for our final match of the night. Bedford versus Greg Batten for qualification is next.